Hey everyone, Rob here, and in this video we're going to be going over FreeCodeCamp's JavaScript Trivia Bot, or where we are working through a lab and going through some of the user stories on there. And if this is your first time joining us on this channel, this is where we take one of their modules and we kind of go through it from an instructor's point of view. So that way you're going to learn something rather than being spoon-fed the answers. And we're going to show you how we come up with that. So that is the case, this is the video for you. If you are watching this on YouTube, some of the user stories might not all be there, and that's because it's over in our free community. Make sure you go over there, take a look at the whole video that we have set up for you there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's see what it has us doing here. We have some user stories, right? The way that FreeCodeCamp works is provides you with some user stories, and then we can run these tests after each time we think that we got a user story correct, and we can come down here and see what they're actually testing for. And so at the very beginning, I always like to read just a few of these, and then we'll come down here and we're just going to test them out as we go. So the very first one for the user story, it says that you should log, hello, I am, or I'm your coding fun fact guide. And so what I expect to see when I log this and what it's meaning when it says, hey, you want to log this, anytime you see that with FreeCodeCamp, you always want to think in your mind console.log. So that's what we're going to type out first. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste in what they kind of told us to do. And so we can already see it in our console. It says, hello, I'm your coding fun fact guide. We can do a really quick test. Let's run the test. All of them are going to fail except for one. And so that should satisfy this user story number one. Now let's go ahead and scroll up here. We're going to do user story number two. And again, the semicolons in JavaScript are typically optional unless we're talking about loops, then they're mandatory. Sometimes I forget them, but other times I'll go ahead and put them in. Now, number two. So user story number two, it says you should create three variables: bot name, bot location, and then favorite language that store the bot's name, where it's from, and the favorite coding language, respectively. So this is where you can use your creativity. It doesn't matter what they are. And whenever we are declaring variables at the very beginning, we need to utilize one of those keywords of either let, const, or var. And what everybody is going towards with this nowadays is either using let or const. And so for going through this, I think I'm just going to use the keyword let, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go through each one of these one at a time. So bot name, we can just set that to anything, and we can just call it, for the bot name, we'll call it chat AI. Okay. Now, the next thing that we want to do, I'm going to end that with a semicolon, is the bot location. So we can do let bot location, and then we can set that to computer space. Again, you can pick anything that you want. I'm just choosing this arbitrarily. As far as the favorite language, we can go ahead and do the following. We'll say let favorite language, and we can set this to beeps. All right. Again, we're just making it up. It doesn't have to be JavaScript. It doesn't have to be Python. It can be anything that we want. So now we can go ahead and run some more tests now that we have that done. We can see that we cleared up a lot, right? So it says that you should declare the bot name. Your bot name should be a string. Your bot location. Double check for spelling errors. It says on the bot location, and it should also be a string. So we got all of these all the way down to our seventh test. And now we're going to go ahead and try to do the user story number three. User story number three, it says you should log. So in our minds, we need to think log. What does a log mean? Well, we need to console log. And then it looks like we want to utilize some concatenation, right? That we learned about earlier. So let's go ahead and do that. So we can come over here and we can say console.log, and I'm going to go ahead and type this out. We're going to say my name is, and notice I put a space in there because now I'm going to add the plus sign, and then I need to utilize my variable name. So it's going to be bot name. Okay. So we're just inserting something from memory. And you can already see in my console, it says my name is, and then chat AI. Next, I'm still inside of the console log parenthesis. I'm going to do another plus sign because I have more words that I need to type. And so I'm going to go ahead and use those double strings again and finish part of the sentence. So I'm going to say, and I live on, and then I'm going to hit the space bar because I do need to put a space in there. And over here, we're adding things again. We're going to use the plus sign. And this is where we're going to go ahead and add in the bot location. Okay. Now notice that there is a period here. So that means we have to do another plus sign and have our quotes and then the period. Okay. Looks like right here it says, my name is Chat AI. I live on computer space. And I think that is all that we need to do for this user story. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. Let's run the test. And we should have gotten down to this part here, but I'm not seeing it correct on here. So let me take a look at my code real quick and see why is it not working. All right, so I guess I didn't read it correctly because it looks like we have some smashed together words of chat AI. And so if we come right here, hit the space bar, and that is going to give us the test to be completed on that. My bad, my mistake. And I should have read it when I was looking at stuff in the console. Okay, so now you can see that we've gone all the way through the checks, all the way down to number 8. And like I said, we are done with user story number 3. And so something that you might want to do with this video is pause it because now we have a good template, a good working solution for the third one, right? Because the next one says you should log, and in your mind, you should say, I should console log. And we have this right here. My favorite programming language is, and then it's going to call favorite language on here. So go see if you can pause the video and try to knock that part out based upon what we've done so far. But let's go ahead and continue. We'll do a console log. And this time we want to say my favorite programming language is. And then I'm going to put a hard space in there right after the is. And then I'm going to hit the plus sign. And this is where we can go ahead and reference our variable. Okay. So we have that. And we should see it in here, the beeps. But we also need to make this proper grammar. So we are going to add a period to the end of this as well. There we go. My favorite programming language is beeps. And let's go ahead and run our tests. Okay. So we're looking down here. We should see that number 9 is complete. And that gets us all the way down to user story number 4. So, all right, so we went through 1 through 4 of the user stories here for this video. And if you're wanting to get more, if you need some more assistance, you're gonna have to take a look at our online community of the Code Zone School. That's where you're gonna see the full video in its length. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.